Hello everyone, Vanguard Trainer 2488 here, and I'm going to give you a Vanguard deck profile for you today. The deck we're doing is, well, clearly, as you can guess by this guy, Majesty Lord Blaster. Yep, this is going to be my first Vanguard deck profile on the channel, so yeah, I hope you like it. Anyway, for the starter, we're using Wingle Brave. If you're using Majesty Lord Blaster and you're not using this guy for your starter, what are you doing? This is the most, I guess, best starting Vanguard to use with him, as, well, if he boosts a Blaster unit, like Blaster Blade or Blaster Dark or Majesty Lord Blaster himself, you can search the deck for any you can put him into the soul, search your deck for any Blaster unit. Plain and simple, he's pretty good. Going on to the grade 3s, we have 4 of Majesty Lord Blaster himself. Alright, his first skill is if you have a card named Blaster Blade and a card named Blaster Dark in your soul, this unit gets plus 2,000 and 1 critical. Always good. With that skill, he's as long as those guys are in the soul, he's a 1200 base, and he's always got 1 extra critical on him. So, and his second skill, once you move Blaster Blade and Blaster Dark from the rear guards and put them into your soul, he gains plus 10,000 for that turn. Well, for the end of that battle. So, he's the guy that you want to go for in the deck, and you should run 4 of them. Next up, we've got one of the backup card for in case anything goes wrong, and he's one of the newer cards. Blue Sky Knight Altmile. He's pretty good. His Generation Break skill. During your turn, all your units in the front row get plus 5,000, and then his other skill, Counterblast 1 during your turn, and when your G unit strides over this guy, you may pay the cost and choose up to 2 cards from your hand and call them to separate rear guards, and then choose up to 2 of your units, and those units get plus 5,000 until the end of the turn. Now, I don't know why you have to call them from your hand. It's kind of weird, but you also don't really have to call anything. It doesn't absolutely say you have to. You can also just choose up to 2 of your rear guards and they get plus 5,000, so he's pretty decent. Next up we have the grade 2s for Blaster Blade. If he's in the Vanguard circle or the rear guard circle, Counterblast 2. Get rid of an opponent's card. Pretty good. And you should run him in here always if you're using Majesty Lord Blaster. Next up is Blaster Dark, same as Blaster Blade, however he doesn't have the rear guard ability. You should also run him in here if you're running Majesty Lord Blaster. Another one of the new cards, Starlight Violinist. Come on, focus. I think, there we go. I hope you guys can see it. Alright, his skill, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. When he's put on the Vanguard or Rearguard circle, you may pay the cost, and if you do, search your deck for up to 1 grade 2 card not named himself, and call it to a Rearguard, and shuffle the deck. So with that, you can search for Blaster Blade or Blaster Dark. Pretty useful. On to the grade 1s. I'm running 2 Marin. He's basic. Plus I want to run him in here because of Blaster Blade. Yep. Next up is Laurel Knight Silius, I guess. He's pretty good. He can search for Altmile. You can also use him as a stride enabler. If you don't have a grade 3 in your hand, it usually costs a complete total of 3 in order to stride. But with him, with his ability, he gains plus 2 grades when you pay the stride cost for him. when you use him to pay for the stride cost. Next up, we've got 2 Milky Way Unicorn. Generation Break 1. When he boosts a Vanguard, the boosted unit gets plus 4,000 until the end of the turn, so he's a 10,000 booster. Pretty good, and can make Majesty Lord Blaster hit for a lot. Next up, we have 2 Lake Maiden Lien. Rest her or tap this unit. Choose a card from your hand, discard it, and draw a card. Pretty good. 2 perfect cards in any Vanguard deck, really. You should be running 4 perfect cards. Wait, did I say I had 2? I have 4 here, clearly. Anyway, I got the trial deck ones. If the clan you're using has some from the trial deck, there's only 3 out now that have that, going on 4. But I think every clan should get a basic, common perfect card, if that's not how it's going to happen. Anyway, perfect card, put it in the Guardian Circle, drop a card from your hand, nullify an attack completely. We got the triggers now. We've got 4 criticals, like you should. 4 heals, you can't really run any more than that. And 4 Margle. Well, 4 draw, which is Margle, which is the best draw for Royal Paladins ever. Now for the extra deck, or Generation Zone deck, we got 4 of the Shrouded Divine Knight Gablade. That's all I've got for now. There is another Royal Paladin Stride unit out right now. Fortunately, I can't find any of him, and I already spent a lot. Well, my dad already spent a lot on this deck anyway. I had a lot of the stuff, but getting 4 of this guy was a fortune. Anyway, when you stride with him, when he attacks a Vanguard, when his attack hits a Vanguard, search your deck for 1 grade 2 or greater card, call it to a rear guard. You can get Blaster Blade, Blaster Dark, Starlight Violinist even, and Altmile with that. Or, if you really want to, you can get another Majesty Lord Blaster, the rear guard, although I don't know why you would do that. Anyway, that is my Majesty Lord Blaster deck. I hope you enjoyed this. Goodbye.